The Compulsory Enforcement Service of Judicial Acts. In public life, citizens, organizations, public authorities, local self-government bodies, and public officials pursue different interests with each other in various public relations which are governed by regulations and civil contracts. However, disputes may arise between them related to the amount of debt recovery, property division, or paying alimony to the child. A dispute may be resolved by any one of them handed over to court. The court makes a decision to resolve the dispute in favor of one side or another. If the debtor refuses to make the voluntary judicial act, the claimant has the right to appeal to the Compulsory Enforcement Service of Judicial Acts. The function of the Compulsory Enforcement Service is the execution of judicial acts of the Armenian courts, administrative acts of public, legal, and monetary requirements, and rewards of arbitral tribunals. Judicial acts subject to compulsory enforcement are awards of arbitral tribunals, court judgments and decisions on criminal cases, judicial acts on civil cases, judicial acts of Administrative Court of the Republic of Armenia, judgments and decisions on civil and economic cases of foreign courts. The measures: seizure of property, seizure of salary, pension, scholarship, or any other income, seizure of monetary funds held by others, passing the seizure from the debtor to the claimant, and applying fines for not complying with the enforcement officer's decisions. How does the seizure process work? The Compulsory Enforcement Service applies levy of execution on the financial means of the debtor, such as salary, pension, or any other income. The seized amount is capitalized and transferred to the deposit account of the Compulsory Enforcement Service of Judicial Acts. The 5% is kept in the account, and finally the debt is returned to the creditor. If there are no financial means, the Enforcement Service applies levy of execution on the movable and then only immovable assets of the debtor. The property is being appreciated and taken to the electronic auction with an initial price of 25% less than its actual value. If there are no buyers, the price falls by 10% every 10 days. If there is more than a buyer, the price rises. Finally, the seized amount is given to the creditor. If there is an extra amount left from the sales thereof, it's returned to the debtor. However, if the debtor does not have any financial means or property under his authority, he is bankrupt. Enforcement of administrative acts. Administrative bodies are state traffic police, municipalities, and prefectures. The administrative body sets an indisputable administrative act, which is when there is no administrative complaints against it, and when the act is less than 200,000 Armenian drams, it goes straight to the Compulsory Enforcement Service. If the act exceeds 200,000 Armenian drams, it goes to the administrative court, after which it goes to the service. Alimony debt exaction. When the parents divorce, the law obligates one of the spouses to pay alimony to the other parent who takes care of the child until he becomes an adult. Alimony debt exaction is done by applying levy of execution on the financial means or the property of the debtor. The proceeds should satisfy the requirements of the alimony for 3 years. The seized amount is capitalized and transferred to the deposit account of the Compulsory Enforcement Service. The allocation of the funds to the creditor is given by the amount and frequency specified in the writ of execution. Problems. Firstly, when the debtor does not have enough salary, movable and immovable assets, or these assets do not have enough value to cover the debt, the debtor is bankrupt. Therefore, the service is not capable of fulfilling its function, and the creditor does not get full compensation. Secondly, in some cases, when the court arrests specific amount of money on the debtor's bank account, it may be, for example, 500 euros, the debtor's whole bank account may be frozen. This is because of the system failure. Finally, in some cases, the harsh enforcement service may be very fatal for the debtor. It may even lead in some cases to mental and psychiatric disorder. The slogan of the service is, "The law is not a law without cohesion behind it."